kind of a little scenic little raft launch. If I was going to be here very long, I would plant water chestnuts along the sides and get free water chestnuts. Good times. Got something growing up there. I'd like to take some of that styrofoam insulation and cut out little sections of it and put little planters in it, and you can make like floating gardens in places like this, and all of the things like the duckweed and everything building up. It has a lot of plant material breaking down and releasing nitrogen into the water. You probably wouldn't have to fertilize or anything. Good times. Just I just wanted to observe how I kind of felt as I was building, I guess you could call it my fortune. It's not huge, but it's enough for me. But I was, let's see, and I always enjoyed being a mechanic, and I have always enjoyed the routine. I enjoyed my life, but as I was gaining more and more wealth, I saw a future time coming when I would no longer have that, I would no longer need to work, and I would no longer need, the income or the benefits or anything, and then the freedom, that comes along with that, the complete lack of structure, right? And so you're running around, and you're without any need to actually work, and you basically just are cut loose, and you don't really have any excuse to be anywhere, right? I've never been terribly social, but there have been times when I have been social, but I had a reason to do it. I had like an excuse, like I have to be here because of work or whatever, or I have to do whatever, and then you can socialize while you're in that situation, and it sort of takes away a little bit of the pressure. But if you are independently wealthy and you can be anywhere, then you have the full responsibility of being wherever you are, and everyone would know that you are there because you want to be there, and you wouldn't have any deniability. If you are going for a social event of any kind, you can't deny that that's what you're doing. So I don't know, and plus not having the structure of my employment, my 9-to-5 job, that adds a lot of routine and sort of like autopilot to your life. And then you don't, in a way, you're not really, it looks like a young eagle or a hawk or something. They just cut that grass out there, so I guess he's looking for mice. Cool. But anyway, the complete lack of structure in my life, I saw that coming, and it was like, man, it was scary. And then I took that trip to Cambodia, thinking that I could capitalize on the low cost of living and have an early retirement and really kick back, but man, the culture shock, it really got me. It was bad. I don't think I would be very happy in Southeast Asia. Certainly not in Cambodia. I don't know, maybe I just didn't give it enough of a chance. But anyway, I saw that coming. I mean, I saw the complete lack of structure, the lack of my life, you know. It almost like it seemed to me like I would almost be dying because the life that I had spent so many years building, and the career I spent so many years building, is suddenly no longer necessary because, you know, I don't need to work. So in a way, it seemed almost as if that massive wealth buildup was it almost seemed like if I pulled the plug on my job and retired, that I would, in a way, I would be dying. and I was really procrastinating for a while there, and I couldn't really bring myself to do it, even though I could really technically afford to retire for a while there, but I was always procrastinating. I didn't want to give up my routine. I didn't want to give up my life, I guess you could say. But then when I got the cancer, well, that kind of changed my mind. Got a couple of birds out there enjoying the thermals. Anyway, so I was kind of wondering if I had sabotaged myself, you know, sometime, you know, in the past, about while I was building the wealth. Was there a time when I was sabotaging myself because I didn't want to die, in a way? So I suspect that if you and other MGTOW are trying to build wealth, there is a psychological trap waiting for you, or a psychological problem waiting for you, and that is that's that your ability to, you know, to just live your life could be dramatically changed when you decide to pull the plug on your job. So yeah, it's an interesting problem. But then I turned around and got cancer, so that took care of the procrastination aspect of the situation. And there are all kinds of spiritual teacher types, you know, and I've seen enough spiritual weirdness to put some stock in that stuff. And some of them might say that I manifested the cancer problem to give myself a challenge and something to do with my life once I pulled the plug on my job. Now that's a really weird, there's no way it can be proven. There's no way to really even, it's just an interesting idea. And I certainly hope that isn't the case. But man, what would I be doing if I didn't have this big challenge of cancer to deal with? The whole world would just be open, right? I could go anywhere in the world pretty much, you know, do pretty much anything. But how much would I enjoy it? You know, how much would I like having so little structure in my life? You know, having such little, you know, so little routine. I would be deciding what to do every single day, practically. So yeah, it's a freedom. You know, freedom is scary, and there's and that falls right into MGTOW as well, because when freedom is scary, that will cause people to not want to be free, and then they end up getting married, and then that blows up in their face. So yeah, it's an interesting problem. Ah, there's my turnaround point. I generally go a mile out and then turn around and come back. So that could be an explanation, or at least one explanation, as to why so many blue-pilled guys keep getting married. Why so many young men keep joining the army. You know, why they just put themselves through so much crap that they don't have to really go through. And maybe it's that fear of freedom. Now, connections, right? People like to make connections to other people, which is great, and it should, and that is a very good instinct to have. That instinct is a real survival instinct, because it allows you to build a team of people around you to that, you know, you can help and guide along, and who are there to help you if you need help. It's a very useful survival strategy, and we still have that instinct, but social media has made interacting with people so easy and cheap that people don't really form those close friendships or connections anymore, which is kind of unfortunate. And so, okay, let me pause. Okay, now I'm back to what I was going to say. When people are, you know, obligated to other people, you know, and fastened to each other and attached to each other, you know, through legal or other obligations, that is a connection. And people don't really have voluntary connections that often nowadays. So you kind of need a reason to have that connection. So a lot of people, you know, you get a lot of those connections at work and whatnot, and then of course in family and what, yeah, you get some of those connections, but the need for a connection is so strong that it appears that people will, well, it's pretty obvious that guys will accept inferior connections just to have some kind of connection and interaction with other people. And I find that mildly unfortunate. We sell ourselves too cheaply when we do that. Okay, so that's about all I got for you, MGTOWs. And don't get married.